What really gave that salad a twist was those wonderful kind of buttery picholine olives. Also, the kumquats, they kind of, as she said, explode in your mouth. And then chervil, that she'd never had that. It took it from a, you know, like a number 4 salad up to a 10. I was really thinking about what are the dishes that I love to teach my students, and I think probably it would be the simplest dishes with the biggest wow factor. And I'm hoping to wow you a little bit today, Leigh.
Okay.
Leigh is in the healthcare profession, and do you like to cook?
I do. I love to cook when I have time, and I really try to cook healthy things.
Oh, that's good. Me too. So this is a salad that I happen to absolutely love. I mean, I really do love it. And I love oranges, and that's where we're going to start. So these are navel oranges. You can tell they're called that because they have that little bit right there that looks like a navel. Exactly. So you're going to take the orange, and what you're going to do is to cut off the bottom and the top.
Okay.
Just like that. Okay? Now, with the cut side down, what I do is I take a small knife and I'm cutting around the edge and down to the bottom. So, like this. And you can see that you're following the line of the orange. If you're leaving a little bit of white, don't worry about it.
That's a lot of white.
That's a lot of white. You want a little bit, take off a little bit more. Okay. Now, you want this, look at this, Leigh, in more rounded motion, kind of. You're following the contour. Don't worry about the bottom. We can always fix that.
Okay.
So with my knife, I just remove all of that white pith. Now, why do I want to remove the white pith?
It's a bit bitter.
It is
right?
a little bit bitter, exactly.
And what are we going to make with these oranges?
So I thought we'd do this salad with oranges, picholine olives, and also some avocado. It'll be really, really good. Now what I do next is I cut across, and I love navel oranges because they're seedless, but you cut across into thin slices.
Okay.
Sometimes you come across 1 or 2 seeds, but for the most part, they're seedless. I see I had 1 seed in this one. And then we can place these oranges right on the platter. What we can do is just to grate a little bit of this orange zest. Now, one of the ways that you can do it is just like this, to hold the orange in your hand, just go back and forth. And this is kind of nice because this catches the orange zest. Probably a teaspoon or something. Try that. Now, when you're zesting, you want to make sure that you don't zest the white part, just the colored part of your orange, lemon, lime, whatever citrus you're using. You can put that right in the bowl. What we'll do next is we're going to cut this in half. You can cut it. And then we can juice this right into the bowl. So we're making a vinaigrette, and the vinaigrette will be made. And that is, it would seem like you'd want to do it that way.
It fits in that way, but then the juice might get us.
Exactly.
Huh? Okay.
So
Other
turn
way.
it over. Exactly. Good. Listen, it would seem that way to me too. But try this. You'll love this.
We don't want to be
This is
wearing
the best
this.
juicer. Good. That's excellent. Now, I love avocado.
I love avocado as well.
It gives you this wonderful kind of richness and creaminess to the dish. So we'll set this aside for our vinaigrette, and now we'll work on the avocado. I like to take a big knife, and what I do is I start on the top, and I cut right around the pit. So I cut from the top right to the pit. I go right around the outside, and I meet it on the other side. Great. That's perfect.
Okay.
And then what you can do next is just to twist. Sometimes mine's a little more even. This time I made one small and one large, but that's fine.
Yeah, same here.
It might be a little harder to get the pit out. But what I do is I take my knife and I tap right into the pit and I turn it. It might be harder because of what I did. Yours will be easier. See, I mess up. Okay, wait. Let me show you something.
Okay.
All right.
Don't look
Tap,
carried away.
and then turn.
Twist that way.
So once again, take your knife and tap into it and twist. I think today's class was really all about some really fun ingredients that were really very sensuous, but they were also things that were new to Leigh. And I thought, that really made them kind of fun and more interesting. You can take your spoon and then just go right around the edge of the skin, just like that. And then cut side down. All right, so next what you can do is to take your knife and to cut your avocado into slices. And I would say they're probably about 1/4 of an inch thick.
Okay.
And you can take your avocado and just place those slices of avocado right on top of the oranges. With these and next, we'll continue on with the vinaigrette. Now we'll add a little bit of balsamic vinegar. So I would say a couple of tablespoons. We want some acidity, but this is going to be a little bit sweeter salt. That's perfect. This is a little bit sweeter because of it's more of, the fruits and, the citrus and the avocado. So I want to keep this on the sweeter side. So balsamic is a perfect vinegar. Has a little bit less acidity to it.
Okay.
So now a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, probably double the amount that you use for balsamic. Good. Okay, let's add a little bit of salt.
Okay. Pinch.
We'll test that and see how it is. And then I like to add a little bit of honey. I would say maybe a teaspoon or something of honey, but that's really to your own taste. All right. And then you can add just a little bit of pepper. Not too much, thank you.
Good.
And then you can whisk that together. Now, because it's got honey, which is a little bit more viscous, you have to really kind of whisk it a little bit more to break up that honey. There you go.
Thank you.
Let's see how that is. It's really wonderful. That's excellent. Okay, now that we've got all of the components, what I'll grab is a spoon. And we can spoon some of that vinaigrette right over the avocados and also the oranges. And we won't use all of that, but probably 3 good spoonfuls. That's gonna be delicious, isn't it? Excellent. I think you can stop there, yeah.
Okay.
And now we have some Picholine olives. Thought it would be really nice to just take a few of those olives and right around the outside. And I thought a little bit more citrus to tie it all together. And have you worked with these?
And are these kumquats?
They are kumquats.
Okay,
exactly.
that's what I thought.
I love them. And kumquats are wonderful. They've got they're kind of acidic, but they're sweet at the same time. And you eat the whole thing. You eat the skin and everything. So what I do is I take a knife and just cut those into really small slices. Sometimes you come across a seed. It's not a big deal because the seeds are so tiny. So you can just cut these into little thin slices. We can take these and just sprinkle those. Isn't that pretty?
Oh, very pretty. It's beautiful.
It's very different than your lettuce tomato salad. Isn't
Absolutely.
it? Okay, I think now all we need is one more thing. I kind of got inspired and I thought this would be really nice.
Now what is this?
Boy,
it's flowering.
Lots of new things. I know I have some flowers. I went out on the deck and I just picked some herbs.
Wonderful.
But and that's kind of nice that you can do that. But this is chervil.
Okay.
And you've got to taste this because chervil is wonderful. It's the most delicious. How do you like that?
It's really good.
Isn't it?
It's almost like a licorice.
It is. It has a slightly licorice flavor. but almost a sweet licorice. And then I picked
Yeah.
some flowers because I thought that would be absolutely beautiful. But it's very feathery. If you don't have it, don't feel like you can't make the salad. Just use some Italian parsley would be fine.
Yeah, but this is
Or just
delicious.
eliminate
Yeah.
it. But just look how pretty this will look on the top. Just a little bit of chervil. Oh,
Really
this is
quick and easy.
Good. There
Are
we
these
go.
flowers edible?
Yes, they are. Absolutely edible.
It looks so lovely. I almost hate to taste
I know, to mess it up,
it.
but
Yeah, it's beautiful.
putting it together with that chervil will be so delicious. Look at how pretty that flower is. I've got to have the avocado and kumquat together. That's fabulous.
And you could really taste the honey. The sweetness of the honey came out, and when combined with the oranges and the avocado, it was just delicious. But the kumquats, that was the wow part of that salad because they're really tangy and kind of tart.
All right, we're gonna start first of all by heating up some fish stock or bottled clam juice. Now what I'm using is just bottled clam juice because you can go ahead and buy that and that makes it a whole lot easier. So you can place that in the pan. And we want to bring that up to a boil. And I'm going to cook some clams and mussels. I think they're really,
I
really
eat
delicious.
them all the time at restaurants.
Oh, you
I
do?
just never do them myself.
Well, I think
so
after this,
I'll
you
branch
will.
out.
You will. All right, you can see that this is now starting to boil. And what I like to do now is just add these to the pan. It's great if you have a cover that's glass, and I'll tell you why. You can see. Usually you can see pretty well. And you can see when those clams and mussels open up. So I like to take tongs. We've got a little condensation now, but you probably will be able to see. And I remove those as they open. Otherwise, I find that they get overcooked.
Okay.
So as you see it open, what you do is you remove them.
Right, this one.
Yes.
Right there.
And if you get the liquid in the bowl too, if you
Okay, that's
it's
fine. And they all opened.
Excellent. So next, we just add all of those mussels all at once.
Okay. And do we need to cover these?
You know,
or
this
just-
will come back to a boil very quickly. If you want it to come back to a boil more quickly, you just put the cover right on the top again.
Oh, those were quick.
Yeah, that's the great thing about mussels. They're really, really fast. And sometimes what I do is give them a good stir, and
Okay.
sometimes that just jars them a little bit and they start to open really
Wake 'em up.
fast.
Perfect.
Oh, good. Let's see.
Yeah. This one here doesn't seem to want to open.
How's the other one? I think that one
This
is.
one's coming.
Oh, good. That's done. Let's see. That last one, I think we're probably going to throw that one out.
Okay.
And if you find one that isn't open and it's been in there for a while, it's usually probably dead. So you want to throw that one away.
Yeah,
Okay?
I always hear that. You don't want to mess with it. If they're staying closed, there's probably
Right.
a reason that it
Exactly.
stays closed. Leave it be.
So what we'll do now is just to pour this liquid right over the clams and the mussels. And we're going to work right in this pan. Now we'll let this mixture cool and we'll set this aside. So chopping an onion. Have you done that
Okay,
before?
I have done that before.
Okay. We're going to check out your technique. All right. So we've got a nice big onion. There you go. And a nice big chef's knife.
All right.
I love this size knife, by the way. A 9-inch chef's knife is a great knife to use for this. So, perfect. Cut side down. No. What you want to do is cut side down. This is important. This is the stem end. This is the root end. Let's keep this
Okay.
together.
Okay.
So just cut through it.
That makes sense. So we're gonna have it.
So don't cut that off. Yes. Perfect. Now what we do next is you can remove the skin.
Okay.
And if you have to remove that first layer,
Yeah.
that's fine. Now, with a few parallel cuts, you're going to cut towards the root end. So just like this, in a sawing technique, you just cut back and forth, keeping the tips of your fingers on the top. Good. Excellent. And cut straight across. Don't cut too far down or you'll cut that first slice right off. Now do one more parallel cut. And depending upon how fine you want it, if you wanted it to be really fine, you'd do several parallel cuts.
Okay.
Now what you do is the tip of your knife towards the root end, and with several parallel cuts, you can just cut all the way through. Don't cut through the root end though.
Gotcha.
Now turn it so that the first cut side is to your right hand, and then you just cut your onions so you're dicing it. Good. Let's add some olive oil. You can add a few tablespoons, probably about 3 to that pan. Let's turn this on again. Maybe a touch more. Good.
Okay.
So I'm using an extra virgin olive oil for that. And then we can add these onions. We've got lots. We might not use all of these.
Okay.
Now with a wooden spoon, you can stir that. So go ahead and add a minced clove of garlic.
Okay.
And you can add some crushed red pepper flakes.
Okay.
I would say maybe a half teaspoon. Oops,
Ooh,
that's good.
That's a lot.
Not too much though. All right, now we stir that for about 1 minute and it's going to be really aromatic. Because you'll really smell that garlic, which will be wonderful. We're gonna add some dry white wine, probably about a cup of wine. Then we bring that up to a boil, turn it down, and we'll simmer that just until it's reduced by about half. We've got some
those are
beautiful. Now these are sea scallops.
Yeah.
They're really big. If they're bay scallops, they're small. But on the side of a scallop, there's the abductor muscle. This is how it joins to the shell. So you want to remove those. They're a little like chewing gum. They're like,
Okay.
you'd be chewing on those all
Yeah.
day. So you want to remove those and discard those. So yes, remove them. And I've already done some of these. So we can check all of them and make sure that the muscle is gone. Oh,
Yeah,
smell
these are
those.
nice and meaty.
They're so sweet. If they're really nice, fresh, there's a big, see the muscle, remove that one so you can
Oh, wow.
get the feeling of that.
Yeah, it's really tough.
Yes, and you just discard those. Now, I'll take those and we
Okay.
can throw those out. And next what we have is we have some shrimp. And what you're going to do for this is to remove the shells, and I'm going to show you how to devein these. So I start first of all by removing, I can see there's 3 kind of little sections. I remove those first 3 like that.
Okay.
Now we take a small knife and we're going to devein these. So you can just cut just like this on the outside, going about halfway down. You can open that up and you remove the vein.
Okay.
Just
Oh,
like
there
that.
it is. I was about to say it doesn't have one.
Now that the clams and the mussels have cooled enough to handle, what I like to do is I like to remove the shell from half of them. And so what we'll do is remove the shells and place those mussels and clams right in the bowl, and we'll discard half of these. But I find otherwise it just has just too many shells. So I'm going to take the rest of these and just place them right on top of the shellfish, and we'll just set those aside.
Okay.
So we're going to add some tomatoes. You can either use fresh or canned. It doesn't matter. They're just peel-seeded and chopped tomatoes. And on the
Okay.
top, what do you think
Got
we
a
have?
bay leaf.
Bay leaves, exactly. Those will give nice flavor. So you can add that right into the pan. And then we'll also add a little bit of water,
Okay.
because this broth, though it's really delicious, it's probably quite assertive. It's got a lot of flavor. So I want to temper that with a little bit
All of this?
of water. Yeah, just a little more. That's good.
Okay.
All right, you're going to add just a teaspoon of vinegar.
Okay.
Just a nice red wine vinegar or white wine, let's see. Good, excellent, perfect amount. See, you won't even have to grab those measuring spoons
Yeah, I love it.
anymore. And then we have that fabulous broth that we used from the beginning, so you can add all of that right into the pot. We bring that up to a boil. And now we can add the orzo.
Oh, that smells wonderful.
And if you notice, we didn't even add any salt yet because the bottled clam juice in our shellfish is pretty salty. So we can always adjust later. Add that orzo right in and then stir that together. And then I like to let that, I'll turn it down a little bit, but let that simmer for about 2 minutes. Orzo cooks very, very quickly.
Okay.
So really fast. We're going to add some parsley. So you can take your parsley.
Okay.
Perfect. And next we're going to add some saffron.
Ah.
Smell that.
Now this is quite expensive, is it not?
It's very expensive, so we'll add 1 big pinch
Okay.
to the pot, okay? And then we'll also add the shellfish. I'll let you do the honors. You can add it all right into the pot. Now stir that together. Now, doesn't that look good? What a beautiful color.
Nice. Now, what kind of wine would you pair with the stew?
This would be delicious with a Chianti. That's what this is. You know what I love about this little 3-minute thing where we've got it turned off? It's a great time to get all of your guests to the table. And you've got that little leeway, and can I help you with some
Why, thank you.
fabulous stew
That
that
is
you
gorgeous.
need? There you go. Looks so pretty. Doesn't even really need a garnish. The colors are so nice, aren't they? And see how the shells, they just look so nice. It's just those little touches, you know, they're simple, but now I think when you bring this to the table, your friends,
That's a
what are they gonna say?
major wow
It's
factor.
a major. And then they taste it.
Oh,
Good.
that's amazing.
Oh, good.
Amazing.
It's really wonderful.
Delicious.
Okay, we've got to try
Oh,
the wine.
we do.
Wow. That is so, God, what a nice nose that has, huh? Nice and gutsy and that's really, really wonderful with this. That is
Cheers.
really, cheers.
Thank you
To
so
fun
much.
cooking and to the whole wow experience.
I know, I am wowed. I'm going to wow
You're
others
wowed?
now.
Exactly.